Narcissist doesn't believe that this is what you would do to him. Hello everyone. Appreciate you tuning in to the channel today. Let's delve into a thought-provoking topic. Ever experienced that moment when you catch a narcissist off guard with something they never saw coming? If you're enjoying the discussion, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might benefit. Now, let's jump right in. There's a multitude of things a narcissist never anticipated from you, but in this video, we'll zero in on the one that likely left them completely surprised. But before we unravel that, let's rewind a bit. Reflect on your time with a narcissist, the dynamics of that relationship, and how it left a lasting impact on you. Ready to unveil the unexpected? Let's get started. Initially, when you entered that relationship with the individual who turned out to be a toxic narcissist, the concept of narcissism probably wasn't on your radar. They certainly didn't teach you about it in school. You likely perceived them as someone going through a perpetual rough patch, facing various challenges. Determined to make things work, you invested everything: your time, money, energy, love, empathy, social standing, and more. Yet, it felt like paddling upstream in a canoe, while the narcissist did everything to sink it. Why? Because they had another canoe ready to launch right behind yours, ready to jump onto the next source of supply once they ensured your canoe sank. The narcissistic abuse cycle revolves around one person pouring everything into the relationship, while the other shamelessly takes until there's nothing left. Let's face it, the narcissist operates on a completely different wavelength. They don't engage in rational thinking, self-reflection, or personal growth like you do. Accountability is not in their vocabulary. Their mission is to latch onto individuals, suck them dry, crumple them up like a discarded piece of paper, and swiftly move on to the next unsuspecting victim. Here's a heads up: the fresh supply they gravitate towards is someone offering a distinct lifestyle compared to what you provided. Yet, bear in mind, you were once that new supply, and the narcissist swiftly transitioned from a previous relationship straight into your arms. After extracting what they desired from you, they'd seamlessly shift to another person, often someone from their past, perpetuating the cycle. You might find this narrative a tad dramatic, but it encapsulates the harsh reality of dealing with a narcissist. They're ensnared in their distorted mindset, incapable of reasoned discourse or authenticity. Their sole objective is to assert superiority over you. Living with them feels like navigating a roller coaster. Behind the front door, you're uncertain whether you'll encounter Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde, and they skillfully manipulate you into perceiving this erratic behavior as normal. But what if you begin questioning things, perhaps turning to Google with searches like "spouse won't talk to me" or "verbal abuse"? In that quest, you stumble upon a revelation, a beacon of understanding. As you delve deeper, you're not just unraveling the layers of your own transformation, but uncovering the true essence of the narcissist. They never anticipated that you would identify them as a narcissist. Underestimating your intelligence, they assumed you'd never connect the dots or embark on investigative research. Ironically, they made the same miscalculation when they first encountered you, assessing, dissecting what made you tick, and evaluating your offerings. After their analysis, they concluded, yes, this person will suffice. Little did they fathom that you would unearth the reality about them. Throughout the days you endured in that relationship, they were aware of the gradual erosion of your well-being and resources. This manipulative and abusive pattern, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake, had become their modus operandi. Now envisage this. A day comes when you hit rock bottom. It could be illness, financial depletion, job loss, or a medical procedure. Suddenly, the narcissist executes their familiar move. They discard you and seamlessly transition to the next source of fuel that has been lurking in the shadows since your acquaintance. Now, behold the twist the narcissist never anticipated, you reclaiming yourself. This juncture is pivotal, so etch it into your memory. The narcissist was well aware of the relentless abuse they subjected you to, a daily, weekly, or even yearly onslaught spanning decades. They recognized that a breaking point loomed. Either you break free from the relationship, prompting their discard, or remain ensnared in a zombie-like state, the narcissistic fog. If you've experienced it, you understand. It's not living. It's merely existing, drained and battered. The narcissist never foresaw your healing journey, comprehension of narcissism, commitment to radical acceptance, and the revelation that you are the abundant, beautiful, radiant light, not them. They manipulated you into believing you were dependent on them through a trauma bond, orchestrating an emotional roller coaster. Your encounters with a narcissist, whether through text, email, in person, or a phone call, always left you off balance, uncertain of the persona you would confront. Here's the punchline. The narcissist never believed you would reconstruct yourself, recover, grasp the intricacies of narcissism, practice radical acceptance, and recognize your inherent worth. While ensnared in their fog, you reported every move, tiptoed around, convinced you needed them. This was all part of their devaluation strategy. Once bored, the thrill of pursuit extinguished. You transformed into a replaceable toy on a shelf. They vanished, seeking new sources of supply, be it in romantic or other realms. Now, what the narcissist underestimated is your resilience, strength, and capacity for learning and growth. They never anticipated your liberation from the toxic relationship, your commitment to educating yourself about narcissism, seeking therapy, and prioritizing your well-being. You defied their expectations, refused to let gaslighting distort your reality, and identified the toxicity for what it was. Instead of succumbing to despair, you made the conscious decision to reclaim your life, establish boundaries, and prioritize self-care. You reconstructed your self-esteem, rediscovered your intrinsic worth, and emerged with newfound strength and wisdom. Ultimately, you evolved into a survivor, transcending the role of a mere victim. Your ability to break free and flourish is a testament to your inner strength. Always bear in mind that by resisting entanglement in the narcissist's web of control and manipulation, you've disrupted their power dynamic. In doing so, you've metamorphosed into an empowered individual, no longer a pawn in their destructive schemes. Pause for a moment to recognize your achievements and revel in your triumphs. Each stride you've taken toward healing marks a departure from the sway of the narcissist. You haven't just endured. You've emerged even more robust and resilient than before. For those still navigating the healing journey, extend patience to yourself. Recovery unfolds gradually, and every modest triumph holds significance. Don't shy away from establishing a support network, whether it involves friends, family, or a therapist. You're not isolated, and assistance is within reach. To sum up, the narcissist never foresaw your reclaiming of life, throwing a wrench into their entire strategy. Your voyage toward healing and flourishing stands as a testament to your fortitude and resilience. Continue advancing on the road to recovery, acknowledging that you merit a life free from toxicity, brimming with authentic joy. And bear in mind, for a more in-depth comprehension of these dynamics, delve into our complimentary book and contemplate a personalized one-on-one consultation suited to your requirements. Discover the links in the description below. Your journey is significant and support awaits you. Engaging in a relationship with a narcissist characterized by grandiosity, a lack of empathy, and a craving for adulation, can be calamitous. Victims find themselves grappling with profound emotional trauma, leaving them bewildered, wounded, and struggling to move forward. The impact on mental and emotional well-being can be devastating, often requiring years for recovery. Navigating relationships with narcissists proves challenging for numerous reasons, primarily due to their inherent unfairness. Instead of taking responsibility for their actions, narcissists typically shift blame onto others. Employing tactics like deception and gaslighting, they manipulate victims into questioning their reality, intensifying emotional suffering, and leaving them feeling lost and powerless. Narcissists exhibit a swift and heartless approach when discarding their victims. Their ability to disregard and treat them as disposable is both astonishing and repulsive. Victims grapple with confusion and pain as they attempt to make sense of the situation. Narcissists, with their callous attitudes, view others merely as tools to fulfill their desires, a perspective that is not only appalling, but also difficult to comprehend. In our upcoming discussion, we'll delve into the 7 deadly sins committed by narcissists and explore how they rationalize their destructive behavior. If you're keen on staying informed and continuing this dialogue, hit the subscribe button for regular updates. Your subscription contributes to raising awareness and fostering ongoing conversations. Narcissists, particularly, embody the epitome of emotional vampires. These individuals thrive on consuming your humanity, integrity, and the essence of being a thinking, feeling human being. The power they derive from bullying, intimidating, controlling, and abusing others becomes a twisted source of satisfaction. Yet, this satisfaction comes at a staggering cost, the sacrifice of one's own life. What exactly are you forfeiting? The ability to think clearly, distinguish between dreams and reality, and process new information slips away. Your perspective and mentality undergo a profound shift. You find yourself unable to remember who you truly are, and the narcissist remains indifferent to this destructive transformation. Their sole focus revolves around satiating their insatiable hunger for power and material gains. The second greatest sin, extreme gaslighting. Every detail you shared with them, your emotions, and your perception of them were intentionally distorted. Why? The narcissist's motive is clear: to manipulate the narrative you present. By controlling your story, they gain leverage to coerce you into actions you wouldn't otherwise take, and make you accept things you wouldn't normally embrace. They wrap you in their psychic energy, tightening their grip until your understanding of yourself, them, reality, and the world becomes distorted, reshaped, and molded. The narcissist's sinister objective: to have you under their influence, relying on you financially and emotionally, all while assigning blame for things you had no involvement in and taking credit for your accomplishments. Allowing someone else to wield such control over your life, leading you to treat yourself poorly, lose your self-worth, and forget your true identity and principles, is utterly unacceptable. Ignorance stands as the third cardinal sin. Narcissists exhibit remarkable precision in assessing their own desires and needs. They recognize that kindness, respect, introspection, and accountability are essential qualities. However, this realization eludes them. Despite possessing the capacity to take initiative, they remain oblivious. Reflect on the moments when the narcissist expressed concern about the potential termination of the relationship or the loss of control over you. During those times, they adjusted their attitude and demeanor to appear more approachable. The puzzling aspect is why individuals would act in a way they knew was necessary to sustain the connection. Aware of your need for respect, understanding, compassion, presence, intentionality, love, and care to nurture the relationship, they still compelled you to plead for these essential elements. Countless positive elements contribute to the growth of a relationship, yet they deliberately withheld access to everything you clearly communicated as vital. When faced with an inability to control you directly, they turned to a smear campaign. Even after their lies were exposed, they persisted, eroding their own credibility. Deliberately spreading these falsehoods was their attempt to undermine and pull you down. The motivation behind this behavior stemmed from their raw, animalistic animosity. It's challenging to accept the need to treat this person with dignity instead of attempting to pacify their anger. While relationship issues may arise, it's crucial to leave the past behind and allow space for healing. However, they didn't relent. When their direct control over you was thwarted, they resorted to using others in a smear campaign aimed at tarnishing your reputation. They damaged your good name, eroded the trust of your colleagues and friends, and infiltrated your personal life. Their indifference to the pain they caused you reflected their delight in the opportunity to do so. Their rationale was to enhance their own self-worth by running a slanderous campaign, winning public favor, and isolating you. This is unacceptable, as it promotes revenge driven by jealousy, vindictiveness, or a cruel nature. Sin No. 5, engaging in extramarital affairs while also maintaining a relationship with you and attempting to keep it secret. When caught cheating, they endeavor to justify their actions. Who benefits from this explanation? When you try to hold them accountable, they label you as crazy, shift blame onto you, and portray themselves as emotionless. Such behavior is characteristic of a malicious person rather than someone disturbed, and are not currently prepared or willing to explore the disturbed aspect of their personality. This is a grievous development. Evil is engaging in actions you know are wrong, fully aware that the truth, when discovered by your partner, would cause them pain. And when confronted, you deflect blame onto them. If not evil, I don't know what else to call it. They inflict the ultimate betrayal by consistently lying and tarnishing your shared moments, with their narcissism shattering your capacity to trust, making this transgression unforgivable. Their regular and deliberate lies create an atmosphere where trust becomes impossible. Once you distance yourself and face reality, the illusion crumbles, revealing the entire relationship and situation as a mirage. Upon discovering the truth, individuals often experience shock and dismay, needing considerable time before they can trust again. Many never fully recover from the betrayal, suffering lasting damage to their ability to trust. The sixth sin involves the abusive use of one's body against another. While not all narcissists resort to violence, those who do can leave their victims so traumatized that they struggle to be around others. It may take years, if not decades, for victims to overcome the fear of their abuser returning to inflict harm. They become uneasy in their own skin, triggered by situations that still feel unsafe or environments lacking adequate physical protection. Growing up with a narcissistic parent, I have a zero-tolerance stance on physical abuse. Resorting to violence doesn't just depict someone who lacks self-control, but someone who has entirely forsaken empathy. Their actions stem from the rage within them, and their demonic, satanic side reveals a complete disconnect from their true selves. Exploitation marks the seventh and final cardinal sin. Narcissists hold themselves in high esteem, considering others as expendable. Fueled by their superiority complex and an inflated sense of self-importance, they treat people as disposable commodities to fulfill their needs or evade pursuers. When pursuing someone, their interest isn't genuine but driven by a desire for personal gain, be it in money, sex, material possessions, or any other advantage. Love, compassion, and concern hold no appeal to them. Their focus is solely on what they can obtain by manipulating and deceiving others into falling into their traps. Seeing individuals as means to satisfy their primitive needs reveals their narrow focus on self-preservation. The complexities of exploitation will be explored further in an upcoming episode. If you've stayed with me, I hope you found this episode insightful. Share your thoughts in the comments, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and spread the word. Stay tuned for the next segment.